love is one amazing thing. When you're in love, you tend to trust more than maybe you should. You try, for the most part, to make your significant other happy. But it started out so innocent. They were in love, the kind of love that makes you do or say silly stuff without realizing you sound ridiculous. They'd known each other since they had been two innocent freshmen. He was on the baseball team, and she was in yearbook. She was interviewing about the upcoming season. She didn't care much about sports, and they both were a little nervous. She loved pictures and was a very good artist. He loved baseball, then as time went by, golfing and dirt bikes became his life. They were from two different worlds. They both knew when she nervously forgot his name the next day that it was meant to be. The months passed by after the interview, and he finally had the courage to talk to her, even though the first time he actually spoke to her was over MySpace. She thought he was so adorable for being that nervous. What he didn't know was she was just as nervous, maybe even more so. At last, it was the first date. He had gone all out, flowers, a bracelet he made her, and he dressed up a bit more than usual, with a little too much cologne. He met her parents. Then they were on their way. He chose the best restaurant in town, Taco Bell. She felt very special because he told her she could have anything she wanted, and to her that was a challenge. The night ended with the famous goodnight kiss. Sweetly he kissed her lips and said goodnight. She left him with the most enthusiastic smile on her face and the biggest butterflies in her stomach. He left weak at the knees and tried not to trip on the sidewalk as he walked to his car, with a dazed look on his face, knowing he did the right thing. These wonderful nights continued for many months. He would constantly say things to her to make her blush and get those butterflies again. She would then stare at him like it was the first time they met. Then the time came he was contemplating how to tell her how much he loved her. At the same time, she was wondering the same thing. It became an endless battle in their minds on who would say it first, how, when, and hoping they would not stutter or stumble over their own words. Then he just came out with it. He told her how much he loved her. She then confessed the same. They talked and talked all night long until there was no more words to be said. They thought they were each other's forever. It was a typical Friday night. He took her to the finest restaurant in town once again. They ate their Taco Bell dinner, talked for a while, then the plan was to go to a movie. She asked when the movie started. He suggested they skip the movie, take what's left of their dinner, and drive somewhere. She agreed. She trusted him. So they took a drive, outdoor was pretty vacant, stopped the car, and finished the rest of their dinner. The night had been going great so far. Great conversation, amazing kisses. Then she heard the sound of a beer bottle opening. She got that kind of feeling. The kind where you think you're going to barf your Taco Bell dinner all over the ground because you didn't know what was happening next. She asked him what was going on. He told her he just wanted to have a beer and he offered her one. She refused. He offered again, only this time he had sort of pleaded that she take one for him. She was torn, wanting to make him happy. She took the beer, kind of sipped at it, and tried to give it back. He opened another one and said, "That one's yours." She didn't know what to do. She felt like she was being pressured, but she trusted him. He gave her one more. She was feeling relaxed and a little lightheaded. They went back to talking about how much they loved each other. He kept saying how special she was. She said he was so different from all the other guys, how kind and caring he was. She told him how she had never loved anybody so much. When they kissed, they felt so passionate and excited. Maybe it was the few beers, maybe because he knew she'd loved him so much, he thought she was ready for the next step. What happened next was something she wasn't ready for. She pulled away from one of their passionate kisses, and he leaned in wanting more. He was kissing differently this time, not like before where it gave her butterflies, but more like the kind that gave her that barfy feeling again. He wasn't holding back. He then grabbed her arm, she pulled away, he pulled her back and leaned on her. She tried to break away, but he was too strong. She was defenseless. What was done was done. They sat in the car. She was on the edge of her seat crying. He had his head in his hand, wondering what he was supposed to do now. She whispered, "Take me home." They drove home in silence. He would try and say something, and she would say, "No, don't." When he pulled up in front of her house, there was no sweet goodnight kiss. She opened the door without saying anything and went up the walkway without looking back. The next day at school, they were walking along with their heads down. They bumped into each other, and he tried hard to explain. She didn't want to hear it. They were both devastated. Every time he looked at her, he felt as if he had lost his whole world. He really loved her. They were both acting so differently at school. Quiet and depressed. At home, she didn't act the same either. She became distant with her family. Even her friends thought that she was acting a lot different lately. When he was with his friends, all he could think about is what he could have done differently. Only if he could go back in time. His friends were worried about him. He quit the golf team and didn't like riding dirt bikes anymore. What they thought was forever ended the moment he opened the first beer.
How could I be so stupid?
What was he thinking?
We needed to agree on this just before I assumed she wanted to.
Why did I take a drink?
Why did I bring alcohol?
I thought he loved me and respected me.
I love her. How could I do this to her?
What are my friends or family going to think of me?
What would my sister or my parents think of me?
How am I going to face him or my family after this?
How am I going to face her?
I trusted him.
You trusted me.
I was in love with him.
People can put themselves in situations and make choices that they may regret later. We hope you think about not putting yourself in a situation to where you might get hurt or hurt others. We hope you understand no means no. If you have been through something like this, there are people here who can help you deal with it. We hope that you take care of yourself and take care of others by being respectful.
She had friends before. Everyone wanted to be friends with her. But she started to change. It all happened about a year ago. amazing thing. It is pretty amazing. Like, cow. Passes out back and doing something to eat. Like, do you think that how, like, people are going to be a little more like this Oh, they sorry about that. I didn't. Oh, Cookie's so great. She is wearing glasses as well, and she can't keep them on. Poor thing. They're so cute. Cute. Okay. Come on, you guys. We gotta go to class.
Things progressively got worse. Here's what happened 6 months ago.
Saw that movie today, right? Oh, that's great. Yes, I love those flowers. I like that. Avatar, like, honestly, is the best thing ever. And the girl that plays Avery, like, the actual, like, gorgeous. It's ridiculous. Slut. You're calling me a slut? No. The girl behind you. Really, that shirt's a little bit low cut for you. I wouldn't wear it to school again. What happened? She's so different. Anya, what do you think you're laughing about? You wear hand-me-down clothes, for God's sake. Really? Hello? Yeah. Okay. I'll text you. Bye. Anya, yeah. Get my English book out of my locker for me. Yeah, that's totally what I want to do. Really? Without that attitude next time, please. Thanks. You're a doll. I don't know why she acts like that. She's not perfect. What's not perfect about her? She has no money, house up, clothes on, and now she has a job. She's never had to worry about money before. And now she's bad at not a job.
So we see her attitude start to change, but nothing was as bad as yesterday. She lost all of her friends.
Hey, come on, girls. You guys are throwing the most amazing party this weekend, and obviously my two best girls have to be there for me. But I have to go shopping for the perfect outfit because I stand out, and that's what like I'm best at doing. So obviously I have to do it. But Audrey, you can come shopping with me today at the beginning after school, right? Don't you have a little sister? Oh, forgot about her. It's alright. I'll just. Anya, you can watch my little sister for me after school, right? Of course you can. It's alright. I'll see you later. Come on, Aubrey. Why are you really about me? It's not like I have any money to spend. What did you just say to me? I'm tired of you treating me like this. You're such a bitch all the time. I can't take it. Whatever. Come on, stop. Actually, I don't know. We miss the old you. Why do you all hate me? You called me a slut. You called me fat. You made fun of me because I'm smart.
You hurt us all.
I was always there for you, and you took it for granted. Me too. You keep treating us like this, and we don't deserve it. None of us do.
Girls can be mean, vicious, and hurtful. Why? Why do girls have to be so mean? You know who you are. The girl that is going through a lot, so they hurt everyone else. The girl Alexia called a slut. Her mom died years ago. The girl she called fat became bulimic for 1 year just because of her single comment. You aren't the only one with problems. Everyone has them. Let's all be there for each other. No matter how pretty, rich, poor, short, tall, everyone is different. You have the pen to write the rest of your life. The ink you write with is not erasable. So maybe think about how you impact others and yourself.